Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Rams and the Panthers. I'm on a few minutes late, so the game started already. And the Rams actually with a 7-0 lead already. Panthers with the ball on their own 27 right here. And Young hands off. Chuba Hubbard gonna gain 5. But welcome to the stream, everybody. The first playoff game of the NFL playoffs. Rams lead 7-0, 10:40 to go in the first quarter. Let me pull up the chat and put out a poll. So it's a first down from the 32. Young in shotgun back to his left. They bring McMillan in motion. And Young throws underneath. That pass caught by Hubbard. And Chuba Hubbard another 6 yards to the 38. And they saw a first down pickup. Alright, there's the poll. Be sure to vote on that. So 2nd and 4 here for the Panthers from their own 38. They empty the backfield. Young with time. Now time runs out, gets pressured. Flag is down, and he's sacked. Back at the 33-yard line. Brandon Fisk with the sack. And it's probably going to be a hold against the Panthers as well. There we go. But Bryce Young gets sacked. So it backs him up to a 3rd down. We've got an injured Panther lineman down in the play. So hopefully he's okay. Hold on 1 second. I messed up how I set something up. Dang it. Hold on. Now I'm moving my tripod all over the place. Alright, now we're good. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Hopefully the injured player is okay. The Panthers with a 3rd and pretty long right here. You got 3rd and 9 from the 33-yard line. And it was left tackle Akeem Ekwonu who's the injured player. He was also the guy called for holding on that previous play. So hopefully he's okay. But that could definitely be a big loss for the Panthers. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. 9:49 to go in the opening quarter. So far, results in the poll, everyone said the Rams will win. Be sure to vote if you've not already done so. And I would agree. I took the Rams pretty easily. I've got them 30-14. I don't really think this game is that close. Now, I know the Panthers did already beat the Rams once this year, but the Rams, they turned it over 3 times in that game. I think one of them was a pick 6, so if they can protect the football, they'll be fine. I'm not really worried about this game if I'm the Rams. Because, the Panthers, they're just not very good. No, how have I messed this up? I do the same thing every time I set up. How is it different this time? Alright. Now I think I got it. So 3rd and 9 here for the Panthers. They're now back from commercial. Empty backfield for Bryce Young. They spread the field, go 5 wide. Young gonna look to throw. Young takes a shot down the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Tedero McMillan, who was open, but just a inaccurate throw from Bryce Young, and brings up 4th down. So it brings up 4th and 9. The Panthers will punt it away. The first punt of the day for either side. Sam Martin back deep, to punt. Xavier Smith back deep to receive. The game's first punt here. So Martin sends it away. And Xavier Smith will field it at the 10-yard line. And he gets swept back at the 6. He fielded it going backwards, got taken down, and the Rams backed up deep inside their own territory for their second possession. 9:25 to go in the first quarter. So 7-0 Rams, but a great punt right here. A great punt and then also great coverage on the return. So good all-around play for the Panthers. So they start on their own 7. Stafford and the offense back on the field. And Stafford going to hand it off here to the right side for Blake Corum. And he'll get about 3 to the 10-yard line. Actually, they're going to give him 4. Make it 2nd and 6. Akeem Aquano going on the cart for the Panthers. That's not good to see. Hopefully he's okay. Got hurt on that last drive. But it's a 2nd and 7 here. 2nd and 6 for the Rams. From the 11-yard line. Stafford in shotgun, Corum to his right. And Stafford going to look to throw. And he throws underneath, caught by Nakua. Makes the guy miss, has space. And Nakua across the 20, out to the 23-yard line. And a first down for the Rams. That was called the touchdown on their first drive. Rams get a couple guys back from injury today. Devontae Adams back. Alec Jackson, their left tackle, also back. So that is definitely pretty big. So 8:05 to go in the first quarter. It's a first down from the Rams at the 23-yard line. And here's a handoff. Corum up the middle. And Corum is going to get about 5. Nice push there from the offensive line towards the end of the play. So they'll give him 5. And a very solid pickup there on first down. So 2nd and 5 here for the Rams. Next, they're going to mark it 2nd and 4. And they go back to the ground here. Corum to the left side. This time not quite as much. We'll gain about 3. And brings up 3rd and short. John Harbaugh's apparently narrowed down his options. And he'll make a decision between 3 or 4 teams this week. Interesting. I wonder who those teams would be. I know I've heard the Giants and Titans. He's been watching film of Cam Ward and Jackson Dart. But I don't know who the other 1 or 2 teams would be. Maybe the Dolphins. Actually, definitely the Dolphins. So 3rd and short. Corum did not get there. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And it brings up 4th down. The Panthers defense with a 3rd down stop. And they're going to force a punt here for the Rams. So the Rams will punt it away on their second possession. With 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Panther defense gets a stop, and they'll get it back. So Ethan Evans punted away, Trevor Etienne back deep to receive. And the punt away very cleanly, no pressure at all. And Etienne lets it bounce at the 25 and takes a Rams roll before it heads it bounce at the 19. So Bryce Young and the Panthers offense back on the field for their second possession. We're down by 7 and have not done much offensively so far. But we'll see if that changes for their third drive. But let me pull up the box score for the game. I forgot to do that before. We got 5:43 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Rams. Panthers right now with just 1 first down. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm trying to check something, but it won't load. Alright, here we go. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. So far, it's been 50-50. I took the Rams pretty easily. I don't really think this game is that close. I took the Rams 30-14. Right? Yeah, 30-14. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Panthers getting the ball back for their third possession. Just 22 yards for them so far. Rams with 69. After 2 drives for each side. Alright, so they're back from commercial here. And we'll see what the Panthers can do on their next drive. So Young under center, pressured and sacked very quickly. They try to go play action, but it fools nobody. And Ford takes him down for a loss. They try to roll Bryce Young out to the right, but he's got nowhere to go. And he gets sacked for a pretty big loss there on first down. So it brings up 2nd and 19 after a massive loss on first down. An empty backfield for Bryce Young. Young, pressured, hit as he throws, got hit hard, but got rid of it to the outside for Tommy Tremble. And Tremble going to gain about 11 and make this a much more manageable third down. So it still brings up 3rd and pretty long, though. It's 3rd and about 8. But Bryce Young took a huge hit on that previous play. So Young in shotgun back to his right. From the 21. Gonna look to throw. Young gets rid of it. That is gonna be caught by Jalen Coker for a first down. On the slant, nice throw and catch. And the Panthers move the sticks on 3rd down. For the first 3rd down conversion of the game by either side. So a first down for the Panthers. They get it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Young under center, Dowdle is the back. And play action. Young rolling to his right. On the run. Young just going to try to keep himself, and at the very last second, will flip it out of bounds and throw it away. So it's incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10. Bryce Young so far, 5 of 9 for 43 yards. Matthew Stafford, I believe, is 4 for 4 for about 50 yards and a touchdown. So 2nd and 10, Young in shotgun, back to his right. And they'll hand it off here. Up the middle for a gain of about 3, maybe 4. That was the rookie Trevor Etienne with the carry right there. And we had an injured Ram defensive back down the field. It's Witherspoon. Hopefully he's okay. We got 3:12 to go in the first quarter. It's a 3rd and 7 here for the Panthers. But they go to commercial. I was hopeful he's okay. The injured player is it's Akello Witherspoon. So hopefully he's okay. Hasn't played much this year. He's only played 6 games. But he's got an interception and 2 passes defended in those 6 games. But hopefully he's okay. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. We got 3:17 to go in the first quarter. Right now, Panthers averaging just 2.7 yards per play. Rams at 7.7. Well, I'm scrolling down through the stats right here. I'm watching it on Fox because the game's on Fox. But I'm on the Fox Sports website. And they got Fox Facts on the right side. And it says Devontae Adams is 28 receptions away from reaching 100 in his playoff career. I'd be pretty impressed if he reaches that today. There's been only 3 players in NFL history to have 100 catches in the playoffs. And if Stafford throws for 134 yards, he'll also become the Rams' all-time playoff passing leader. But they're back from commercial here. Bryce Young, in the first game against the Rams, was great on 3rd and 4th down, as he threw for 162 yards and 3 touchdowns on just 3rd and 4th down alone. They got a 3rd and 6 right here. From their own 35. Looks a lot more like 3rd and 7, because they have to get to the 42. But Young in shotgun, Hubbard to his left. Rams bring 4. Young gets pressured. Throws to the sticks. That is called for a first down. Tommy Tremble makes the catch. Got 7. And a Panther first down. A nice job right there by Bryce Young. I thought he might get sacked with the pocket collapsing. But he's able to find Tommy Tremble for a nice pickup and a 3rd down conversion. Akeem Ekwonu has now been ruled out for the rest of the game for the Panthers. So hopefully he's okay. And now they'll have to try to play the rest of the game without their left tackle. So 1st and 10 from the 43. Young, quick throw caught by McMillan. And he's got another first down inside Ram territory to the 43-yard line. A nice pickup right there on the RPO. And a first down for the Panthers. Able to move the football a little bit on this drive. Their best drive of the day by a lot so far. So 1st and 10 from the 44. Young in the pistol. Got Dowdle behind him. 7 plays, 37 yards in the drive so far. From the 44-yard line, Young in shotgun. 5 seconds on the play clock. Young gonna look to throw. Pump fakes. Young jump pass over the middle. Intercepted off the deflection. Kobe Durant with the interception. Returns it to the 37-yard line. And the Rams defense comes away with the takeaway. There is a flag down. But it looks like this was off the... So the Rams actually had 2 opportunities to pick that one off. Bryce Young ended up throwing it right to the one defender, who then tipped it to the other guy. And that is how it got intercepted. But not a great throw right there for Bryce Young. And a turnover forced by the Rams defense. The first turnover of the game for either side. This is the Rams defense. It's also pretty good when it comes to forcing turnovers. I believe they're 5th best in the NFL. With, I think, just under 30. I think they forced 26. I'm not sure, though. There's a handoff. Kyron Williams up the middle. Got a lot of space. And Kyron gains 8 yards there on 1st down. Down to the 40. As we reach a minute to go here in the opening quarter. So 2nd and 2 from the 40. Stafford gonna look to throw. And Stafford sets up the screen. What a catch. One-handed catch by Parkinson. He's got blockers, and he's down to the 26-yard line. A nice catch by Parkinson, and a nice gain for the Rams. And that could be the final play of the first quarter. That was a really nice catch. So let's see, the Rams at the line, and they're not going to snap this before the quarter ends. So 7-0 at the end of the first quarter, and the Rams moving the football and looking to add to that total. Or add to their lead, whichever way you want to say it. But 7-0 at the end of the first. The Rams with a very good first quarter. The offense moves the ball really effectively. The defense also plays pretty well. They force a turnover. And a great start right there. But so far, the Rams have had 92 yards. Panthers have 59. Panthers averaging 3.5 yards per play. Rams at 8.5. And Matthew Stafford's also averaging 13.4 yards per pass attempt. As he is 5 for 5 for 67 yards and a touchdown. But overall, a great start for the Rams. And not a great start for the Panthers. I mean, I don't think it was their worst first quarter, but definitely not great. But we wait for them to come back from commercial as we enter the second quarter. Rams with the football on the Panthers, I think 26. Just want to look something up. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right. So far, results in the poll: 62% have said the Rams win, 38% have said the Panthers. Again, be sure to vote if you have not already done so. So a first down from the 25 for the Rams. They'll go to the ground with Kyron Williams. He's got space and about 6 yards there on first down. Actually, still on his feet. Maybe he got pushed for a 7th yard right there. No, they're going to give him 6. But a nice run there on first down. Sean McVay 5-0 in his postseason career when leading after the first quarter. That's actually pretty good. Because, I mean, the first quarter is still so early. There's a lot that can happen. But 5-0 after leading after the first quarter, not bad. So from the 19-yard line here, Stafford under center. And here's another handoff. Williams, this time not as much. He'll gain 2. And bring up third down. So third and short here for the Rams. They failed to convert a 3rd and 1 before. That was inside their own territory. Now they're at the Panthers 17. So Stafford and shotgun back to his right. The Rams a 40% conversion rate on third down. That's 17th in the NFL. Stafford to throw on third down. Throws caught for a first down. Puka Nacua makes the catch to the 10-yard line. A gain of 8, and they move the sticks. Stafford stays perfect. He's now 6 for 6. As he finds Nacua on the out route right there. So first and goal from the 10. Stafford under center. Williams is the back. And Stafford hands off. Williams to the right side. And another pretty good run. He gains about 5. Getting from the 10 to the 5 and brings up second and goal. So second down here, Matthew Stafford has 18 passing touchdowns of 5 yards or less. That leads the NFL. And 33 of his touchdowns have come in the red zone. We've also got Devontae Adams back, who's got a ton of touchdowns this year. Here they're going to throw a screen to Nacua, runs at his own blocker, but he's into the end zone anyway. Puka Nacua with a 5-yard touchdown, his second of the game, and the Rams extend their lead. Well, I did not think that play was going to work. He ran into his own guy blocking for him. He's able to bounce off him, and he's into the end zone. The Rams, they double their lead, about to be up 14-0. And they capitalize off the interception. And Nacua with his second touchdown of this first half. And the Panthers, they missed a ton of tackles right there. But here is Harrison Mevis to add the extra point. And it is good. So 14-0. The Rams lead. They capitalize off the interception. They go about 50 yards. I think 48 is the exact number. And they're now up 14 with 12:16 to go in the first half. But let's see. That drive for the Rams was officially, 48 yards. They went 7 plays, 48 yards, and a touchdown. They took 4:01 off the clock. But a great start for Matthew Stafford. He's now 6 for 6. Oh, they actually marked that a run play. Apparently that was a backwards pass. So they're marking that as a rushing touchdown for Puka Nacua, as opposed to the second passing touchdown of the first half for Matthew Stafford. But it is a rushing touchdown there for Nacua, his second of the season. And now his 12th total touchdown of the year. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Panthers will get it back down by 14 with 12:16 to go in the first half. And they really need to do something. They've had the ball for a decent amount. They actually have had the ball for 8 minutes 10 seconds. The Rams only at 9:34. But they're averaging just 3.5 yards a play compared to the Rams' 7.3. So that is going to be a major problem if that continues. They're already down 14. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. But they're back from commercial here. The Rams are going to kick it away to the Panthers. And this kick is going to be a touchback and will come out to the 35. So far, results on the poll, 62% have said the Rams, 38% have said the Panthers will win. Again, be sure to vote if you've not already done so. So Young in shotgun from the 35, and will hand it off. Chuba Hubbard up the middle. I feel like I haven't seen Rico Dowdle very much. Hubbard gains 3 to the 38. So 2nd and 7 here for the Panthers. 11:50 to go in the first half. Young in shotgun, Hubbard to his left. And a look to throw, pressured quickly. Young spins out of it, rolling to his left. And on the run, he throws towards the sideline. It is called for a first down. Nice throw and catch. Jalen Coker makes the catch inside Rams territory. And a first down for the Panthers. Nice play. But I mean, this is actually a great play from Bryce Young. He has 2 guys up front, whiff on the block. The lineman, and then the back tries to step up, but he misses as well. And then Young able to buy time and make not a great throw, but it's good enough to be caught. A first down for the Panthers at the Rams 47. Young under center here on first down. And play action, look to throw. Young drifts right, throws to the outside. Call for a first down, McMillan. For a gain of 14. And a Panther first down. That's back-to-back nice plays through the air. So first down here. Bryce Young, after those past 2 completions, up to 92 yards passing. But the Panthers with the ball on the 33. Young in shotgun. Play action again. Going to look to throw. Young throws. That is going to be caught by McMillan again to the 12-yard line. And that is 3 really nice pass plays in a row. Back-to-back, really good plays to McMillan. Makes a swatting catch there at the 12-yard line. And this has been the best drive of the day by far for the Panthers. So Young under center from the 11. And they'll go to the ground. Hubbard up the middle. And Chuba Hubbard bounces off a defender. And he'll gain about 6. Getting down to the 4-yard line. We'll actually give him 7. So 2nd and 3, 9:15 to go in the first half. Young under center from the 4. And Young going to look to throw. Pressured. Throws back to the end zone. Incomplete. Threw it too far. But had a receiver back there. But it's incomplete. It brings up 3rd and 3. Bryce Young had to rush his throw a little bit with all those defenders right there in his face. So 3rd and 3. The Panthers 2 for 4 on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and 3 from the 4-yard line. They can get a first down without scoring. So Young in shotgun, Hubbard to his right. Rams bring 5. Young, pressure, throws back to the end zone. Incomplete, trying to get it to Leggett, but a flag comes down. Wow, I'm not sure I love that one. They're going to call it on Kobe Durant. Alright, that is interference. I didn't realize he was consistently grabbing him. I thought he was just standing in front of him. But yeah, that's a good call. So it puts the ball on the 1-yard line. An automatic first down for the Panthers as well. The Panthers with, I think, 4 tight ends in the game right here. And they're going to try to power it in. Hubbard is in. Touchdown, Panthers. Chuba Hubbard with the 1-yard touchdown. The Panthers are on the board. And they cut this Rams lead in half. About to be 14-7 after the extra point. But that was a really good drive for the Panthers. They really needed that. They go right down the field. Some really nice plays through the air from Bryce Young. And then a touchdown for Chuba Hubbard. But a really nice drive right there. And it's now 14-6, about to be 14-7. So here is the extra point. And the extra point high snap. But the extra point's still good. And it is now 14-7. With about 8 minutes to go in the first half. But that was a really nice drive. They go right down the field. And Bryce Young with some very nice plays. They went 7 plays, 75 yards, and scored a touchdown. But on that drive for Bryce Young, he went, let's see, I gotta add it all up. But he's now 10 of 16 for 114 yards and an interception in the game. But let's see, that drive, 7 plays, 65 yards. And we saw a 15-yard, 14-yard, and 22-yard pass. So on that drive, Bryce Young went 3 for 4 for 51 yards. Not bad. That's almost half his passing yards on that drive right there. 114 in the game, 51 on that drive. On the season for Bryce Young, he threw for 3,011 yards. And that is, let's see, how many per game? That is 188.2 passing yards per game. But it is a career high in passing yards for Bryce Young. It's the first time he's hit 3,000. And he also threw 23 touchdowns. The first time it's been over 20 in his 3 years as the starter. But I mean, I still don't think he's a very good quarterback. Like, I don't think he's going to be a Super Bowl champion or anything like that. But he is definitely showed some improvement from his rookie year to last year to this year. And I mean, I think that could be, not could be, it is a good thing for the Panthers. Although, they do have an interesting decision upcoming with what they're going to do with him at the end of his rookie contract. Because they got the 5th-year option they can pick up this offseason, which they probably will. So then that gives you 2 more years of Bryce Young. And then you got to figure out if he's your guy or not your guy. And you have an interesting decision because he could technically be your guy, but he might not win a Super Bowl, which then you got to make a decision. If you want to stick with a decent quarterback who probably isn't going to get you there, or if you want to go take a chance and find a quarterback who can take you all the way. So it'll be interesting to see how they, or what the front office decides in a couple years. But the Rams, they'll get it back here, up 14-7, with 8:53 to go in the first half. And this kick goes into the end zone for a touchback, and will come out to the 35. So the Rams offense back on the field at the 35-yard line. And we'll see what they can do for their next drive. That's why you don't buy jerseys anymore, too much moving around. Yeah, I mean, you buy a jersey and then next thing you know, the guy's on a different team. So first down here from the 35. Here's a handoff up the middle for Kyron Williams. And he'll gain about 4 up to the 39. Actually, that was Blake Corum with the drive right there. But that's like me too. I don't really buy jerseys. I'll just have sweatshirts like this or t-shirts or whatever with like general team logo, not really player stuff. Because you never know what's going to happen with the player. But a 2nd and 5 here, and we got play blown dead. We got a flag and probably going to be a false start for the Rams. See, that's a false start. That goes against the Rams, backs them up 5 to a 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10, 8:05 to go in the first half. 14-7 Rams lead. So Stafford in shotgun back to his left from the 35. Stafford throws quickly to the outside, caught by Devontae Adams. And he'll gain 4. Another flag is down. So let's see this penalty. We got offsides against the offense here. Yeah, somebody lined up in the neutral zone. Not sure who that is. So it's now 2nd and 15 after that one. Back-to-back penalties. And they go from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and 15. So Stafford in shotgun. Corum to his right. Stafford going to look to throw. Stafford goes deep downfield. Wide open receiver. Tyler Higbee to the 34-yard line. A huge play right there. He was wide open. And Stafford with a huge play through the air. Man, he ended up so open. He caught it and fell to the ground at the 40, then he got back up and stumbled his way to the 34. Man, what a huge pickup right there for the Rams. And they got the ball at the 34. They go to the ground here on first down and not much space. Just a yard for Blake Corum. So it's a 2nd and 9 here. From the 33. Stafford and shotgun. And we got a timeout called by the Rams. But that is the first timeout by either side in this first half. But it's a 2nd and 9 for the Rams. Up 14-7. And while we wait for them to come back from commercial, if you guys can hit that like button, that'd be much appreciated. So far, we got just 3 likes on the stream. So 2nd and 9, Stafford gonna look to throw. Stafford over the middle, caught by Nakua for a gain of about 6, but short of a first down. And it brings up 3rd down here for the Rams. Six minutes to go in the first half. It's a 3rd and 3. Stafford still without an incompletion, 8 for 8, 115 yards. Watch me jinx him right here. So Stafford in shotgun back to his left. From the 28. Stafford throws down the field. That is caught, but he's out of bounds. I jinxed him. Devontae Adams made the catch, but he couldn't get the feet down. That is the first incompletion in the game for Stafford, and it's 4th down. But a smart defensive play just forced him out of bounds. And it brings a field goal try here for the Rams. So it's a 46-yarder. Harris Mevis, 12 of 13 on the year. His one miss ended up being a big one against the Seahawks. But this one right down the middle. So it's 17-7 as he's good from 46. And the Rams answered the touchdown drive with 3. And they're up by 10. Do you still make money from the channel? I actually never did make money. But that is something I'm hoping for in the future. Hopefully soon, because I've been trying to get monetized for a long time. But it is now 17-7 after the field goal try was good. Another pretty good drive there for the Rams. 6 plays, 37 yards. Took 3:29 off the clock. And they've scored on 3 of their 4 drives. So the Panthers get it back. Now down 10. 5:24 to go in the first half. And we'll see what they can do on their next drive. Give me 1 second. Alright, but we still have for them to come back from commercial. Panthers get it back down by 10. I mean, there's still a lot of time left in the first half, 5:24, but if you're the Panthers, you really want to make sure you get points in this drive, because you don't get the ball to start the second half, and if you don't score here, you give the Rams an opportunity to go double up without really giving the Panthers an opportunity with the football, because they can. If the Panthers don't really do anything here, the Rams will get it back, and then they can go score points, make that most likely the final drive of the half, and then they get to start the second half. But the kickoff return is not a very good one, as it gets brought back to just the 24-yard line, and that is where Young and the Panthers offense start for the next drive. But Bryce Young threw it very well on that last drive, 3 for 4, 51 yards on the drive alone, and we'll see if that can continue. The Rams defense has gotten 10 pressures on 18 dropbacks. That's pretty good. 2 of them have resulted in sacks. So 2/3 of the pass attempts for Bryce Young, he's either been pressured or sacked. Here's a handoff to Dowdle up the middle, and a nice run for Rico Dowdle on first down, as he gains 8, and brings up 2nd and 2. I feel like we haven't really seen much of him so far. But he got the carry right there. So it's 2nd and 2 from the 33. Young under center. Dowdle at the back. Bring Tommy Tremble with the tight end across the formation. And another run play. Dowdle trying to bounce outside. He's forced back inside and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Well defended right there by the Rams defense. Panthers guard Robert Hunt is questionable with a pec injury. So that's now 2 offensive linemen they're without right now. Hunt's not in the game, and left tackle Hakeem Kwanu's out for the game with a knee injury. But Young to throw. Checks down to Hubbard, who drops the ball. Chuba Hubbard had a lot of space after the catch. Would have been able to pick up the first down. But he drops it, and Panthers go 3 and out. Well, that is a costly mistake right there. I'm just got to reach forward a little bit, but that one's got to be caught. That's a big missed opportunity for first down. So the Panthers, they go 3 and out. The Rams will get it back. And that's exactly what we were just saying that the Panthers needed to avoid. Giving the ball right back, and then the Rams, they can go on a 4-minute drive, score a touchdown, end the half, and then get the ball to start the second half. But this is going to take a Panthers bounce and roll all the way down to the 12, maybe 11-yard line. So that took a huge roll, and the Rams ended up starting pretty deep inside their own territory. But the Rams get it back with 3:41 to go, so plenty of time to put drive together before halftime, and they've got 2 timeouts, and to get the ball to start the second half. But the Rams, they've scored on back-to-back drives. And 3 of their 4 drives so far. They went touchdown, punt, touchdown, field goal. So we'll see what they do here on drive number 5 of the first half. Rams offense also averaging 7.8 yards per play. Panthers just 4.4. I'm sorry, 4.8. I mean, that's not terrible, but it's also not great. Both quarterbacks have also thrown for exactly 114 yards. Stafford 8 for 9, 114 and a touchdown. Bryce Young 10 for 17, 114 and an interception. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. 17-7. The Rams lead in the first game of the playoffs. I was going to say the winner of this game will face somebody, but we don't know yet because the NFL reseeds in the playoffs. But if it goes the way I predicted it to go, which I'm definitely not a guarantee, I took the Rams, 49ers, and Bears. Bears and Packers play tonight. I'll be streaming that game as well. But I would have it with Bears-Rams in the second round next week. But the offense for the Rams back on the field. Up 17-7, up by 10. They're backed up pretty deep, starting to run 11-yard line. Actually, make it the 12-yard line they're starting on. I'll start this drive with a run play. Kyron Williams up the middle for about 3, maybe 4 yards. So it brings up second down. Again, be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. So far, 60-40. Rams have the advantage. So 2nd and 6 right here for the Rams. 3:10 to go in the first half. So Stafford to throw. Has time. Stafford throws down the sideline incomplete. Threw it away. Over the head of Nakua. And it brings up 3rd and 6. So Stafford, after 8 straight completions to start the game, back-to-back incompletions. And it's now 3rd and 6. Big opportunity right here for the Panther defense to potentially get a 3 and out. The Rams, they're 1 for 3 on 3rd down. So Stafford in shotgun back to his left. And before this, we got a timeout called by the Rams. That is their second timeout of the first half. Leaves them with 1 remaining. Panthers still with all 3. But a big opportunity right here for the Panther defense to get a stop and get the ball back and try to get points before halftime. If they can do that, that'd be pretty big. Even if they only got 3, cut it to a 1-score game. So Stafford and shotgun back to his left. 3rd and 6. Stafford looks to throw. Stafford lets him go deep down the field. Got Adams, but he missed him. Devontae Adams got behind the corner, but he overthrew him, and it's 4th down. A missed opportunity right there for the Rams. J.C. Horn came on the blitz. Adams able to get behind the defender, and Stafford throws it a little too far. That is a missed opportunity. So the Panthers defense, they got to stop, and they'll get the ball back. We'll see what they can do before halftime. So the punt here, oh, it's muffed! The punt gets muffed, and it is going to be recovered by the Rams. Just how they drew it up to get that big play. The muffed punt gets recovered by the Rams. Wow. They missed the big play on third down, but they get the ball after a huge pickup because of a muffed punt. It ends up bouncing off the face mask of Trevor Etienne. And the Rams recover deep inside Panther territory. Man, that is a big missed opportunity for the Panthers. Their defense gets a stop. They get lucky. Stafford misses a throw deep down the field. But instead of getting the ball back and having an opportunity to get points before the half, they muff the punt. And now the Rams have it with 2:44 to go in half number 1. That is the second Panther turnover of the game. And after the turnover, or the muffed punt, it puts the ball on the Panthers' 41-yard line for the Rams. They'll go to the ground here with Blake Corum. And a nice run there for Corum, getting 6 on the first down carry. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. That could have also been the final play before the 2-minute warning. So 2nd and 3. Let's see if they snap this right here. They got 5 seconds. They will snap it. And they'll go to the ground. And Blake Corum spinning away from defender. And he gets down to the 26. Nice pickup there. And a first down for the Rams at the 2-minute warning. I mean, I know it's probably harder than it looks. And it's definitely harder than it looks. But when you're fielding a punt, how do you misplay it so that it hits you in the face? That's something that doesn't make much sense. But that's what happened there, and that's why I muffed the punt. But we got 1:59 left in the first half at the 2-minute warning. Rams with a first down at the Panther 26-yard line. And the Rams averaging 7 yards a play. 10.4 yards per pass attempt for Matthew Stafford. You don't miss a punt unless it's raining. That is true. Definitely doesn't make it any easier when it's wet like that. But, I mean, still, these guys are NFL kick returners and punt returners. They should be able to catch pretty much all of them. Even with the rain. Or something like that. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Minute 59 to go in the first half. Rams with 1 timeout. Panthers still with 3. How about that? The Rams run 17 plays in opposing territory, Panthers at 7. That's also the exact score of the game. Here's a screen for Kyron Williams. He gets a blocker on the outside, he gets another block from Nakua downfield, and he gains about 10 if it stands, but a flag is down. Might be a hold right here. It's actually an illegal block in the back. So same idea. So it backs him up 10. As it is now 1st and 20. And wipes off a pretty good pickup on the screen. So Stafford and shotgun back to his left. Minute 50 to go in the first half. From the Panther 36. They're going to go to the ground here. Williams up the middle. And a pretty good run. About 7 yards. Got some of that penalty yardage back. This brings up 2nd and 13. It is also very windy there, so kicking a field goal in these conditions, plus the rain, is not easy. So that could be something to watch if one of these teams tries to attempt a field goal at the end of the half. But we did see the Rams make a pretty long field goal before. They made, I think from 46 that was? I'm not completely sure, but pretty long field goal, 45 plus. Or somewhere in that range. So Stafford and shotgun back to his right here from the 29-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Corum this time tripped up the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got a yard. Turnovers and field goals are huge come playoffs. Yeah, that is true. I mean, every mistake you make gets more and more important. Because you're also playing against these good teams. Like, sometimes in the regular season you can make some mistakes and still find a way to win if you're playing a team that's not very good. But obviously everybody in the playoffs is very good, so that's why mistakes are more costly. So Stafford and shotgun back to his right here on 3rd and 12. Wonder how aggressive they get here. They might just run the ball and force the Panthers to use a timeout. But they will throw. Stafford throws. Caught by Higbee on the slant. And he picks up about 8. Short of a first down. And the Panthers will call their 3rd and final timeout. With a minute 37 to go in the first half. But these two teams go for it on 4th down quite a bit. And it looks like the Rams are going to go for it on 4th down again right here. But the Rams go for it 42.6% of the time in opposing territory, which is 3rd most in the NFL. The Panthers, the 2nd most. They go for it the 2nd most when they're inside opposing territory. But 4th and 3 right here from the 19-yard line. They motion Nakua out wide. Panthers bring 4. Stafford rolling right. Stafford throws that is incomplete. Tried a no-look pass. Couldn't quite get it to Higbee as it got knocked down. And it brings up it's a turnover on downs. I thought he might just run for it right here once he got outside the pocket, but couldn't quite. I don't think he's able to outrun the defenders right there at this point in his career. But after the turnover on downs, Panthers, their defense gets a stop. And let's see what the offense can do here. They're at their own 19. No timeouts, but they got plenty of time. It's minute 31. They'll start off on the ground with Dowdle, and he's taken down at the line of scrimmage by Jared Verse. I think you got to try to do something here. Even a field goal. Just to get inside field goal range. Just attempt a long one. I mean, no guarantee with the conditions, but I think you got to take calculated risks right here. Young will throw, and he's going to go deep down the field, and that is incomplete. Jalen Coker, the target. I think he wanted a flag. And there is a flag. I mean, I get it right here, but the ball's also way over his head. So, I mean, I don't know if he slows him down that much to prevent him from getting there. But they call the penalty. I do agree that is probably the right call, though. That is the 5th penalty against the Rams for 56 yards. And that's a big one because it's a spot foul. And it puts the ball now for the Panthers on their own 47. So that's like a 30-yard penalty. Young throws downfield. What a throw by Young. Coker down the sideline. Inside the 20 to 15. What a throw and catch. And 2 plays, and they're inside the red zone. They get a little bit of a pick with McMillan running into the defender on like a switch release right there. But a huge play, and they're now inside the red zone for the first time. Nope, sorry, for the second time on the 16. Young throws end zone incomplete, just a little too far for Xavier will get. And it brings up 2nd and 10. I kind of forget about Xavier quite often. Because you think about receivers on this team. You think about Jalen Coker, you think about McMillan. And even though we'll get with a 1st-round pick, not last year, the year before, kind of forget about him. Or at least I do. But Young in shotgun here, back to his left. From the 16. Young gonna look to throw. He's got time. And throws the outside incomplete. Dowdle the guy in the area, but threw it behind him. And I think he just threw it away. So we got 44 seconds left in the first half. Panthers with a big opportunity to cut this lead to potentially 3 right here. So it's now 3rd and 10. From the 16. Young to throw once again. Young pressured, steps up. Young gonna try to run here. Young makes the guy miss. Bryce Young, touchdown Panthers. Bryce Young with a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers about to cut it to a 3-point game before the half. But once he stepped up, he had a lot of space. As long as he made the linebacker miss, he's able to get around him. And a really nice touchdown run for Bryce Young. And the Panthers right back in it. And that is a huge touchdown, too, because they don't get the ball to start the second half. And they don't get it to a 3-point game here before the half. But Bryce Young's put a really good first half. And the extra point gets blown a lot by the wind, but it is still through the uprights and good. So 17-14, the Rams lead the Panthers. And we got a game here. But this is a great job by Bryce Young. And I mean, he's even able to get into the end zone without really taking a huge hit. But now 17-14, 37 seconds left. The only thing right now if you're the Panthers is that leaves time for the Rams. They got 37 seconds of timeout, and a quarterback like Stafford who's great in 2-minute situations. The Rams could potentially get into position to attempt a field goal at the very least before halftime. So now if you're the Panthers, you need your defense too. Get a stop. But the kickoff bounces short of the landing zone. So it'll give them excellent field position at the 40. Yeah, it bounced at the 21. Has got to get inside the 20. But I mean, that's a big penalty right there, because it's great starting field position now for the Rams. At their own 40, still have 37 seconds and a timeout. So they can definitely put a drive together here before the half. Stafford to throw on first down. He zips one over the middle, caught by Adams, 15 yards, and already they're inside Panther territory. To the 45-yard line. 29 seconds left. And right there, the Rams call their third and final timeout. So I don't actually love that timeout being used right there. I don't love it. I mean, they put a couple seconds back in the clock. So there's 31 seconds before the half. But I think I'm going to save that timeout for a little bit later. But they got 14 there on the first play of the drive, putting the ball on the Panther 46. Panthers bring a blitz. Stafford has time. Stafford throws to the outside too high and incomplete. Led Puka Nacua a little bit too far. And it's 2nd and 10, 27 seconds left in the first half. Oh, Devontae Adams got tackled on the route right there, but there was no penalty. That is a missed call right there. Definitely should have been a flag. So Stafford to throw once again. Gets pressured. Stafford ends up incomplete. That might have gotten tipped in and tipped the line of scrimmage. Because it came up short. Well, Stafford hurt his hand on that. Oh, his finger got his finger on the follow through hit one of the linemen. His arm, that looks painful. So Stafford to throw here. Has time. Stafford throws down the sideline. Oh, it's off the hands of Nacua and incomplete. Wow, that was a perfect throw from Stafford. And Nacua might score, but he just can't catch it. Wow. This goes right off his hands. Oh, man, that is a huge drop. The Panthers catch a break. I mean, this should be a touchdown. Wow, they got lucky right there. So now the Rams punted away on 4th down. And the punt goes out of bounds. So the Panthers, with the ball back, they'll just take a knee though. And we'll head to halftime. Because, I mean, you're not really going to do anything in 8 seconds. But the Panthers take a knee. We head to halftime. 17-14. At the end of the first half, a pretty good first half. A little bit closer than I expected. Thought this game would be fairly one-sided, but the Panthers putting up a fight. And only down 3 at the half. But both teams with some big mistakes in that first half. Rams a lot of penalties. The drop from Nakua at the end of the half. The Panthers also their fair share of mistakes. Turnover, muff punt, technically 2 turnovers. But a 3-point game at the half. But I'm going to go take a quick break. As I do at halftime of every game I stream, I'm going to go use the bathroom from the water. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, that took forever. You guys probably think I got lost. But I had to bring my dinner down, because I got to eat during halftime. And I had to make multiple trips, because I got a few different things. And then I realized I forgot my water. So I had to go back and get that. So sorry about that. But I don't know if you guys saw, you could see the shadow. Over on, let's see, that's the left side. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. But, yeah, I had to put down my dinner, and then I had to go back upstairs. Because I kept forgetting stuff. But now I got everything. But 17-14 at the half, a pretty good first half. Did not expect this game to be quite as good, but it's been very entertaining so far. The Rams jump out to an early 14-0 lead. The Panthers outscored them 14-3 the rest of the way. And we'll have to see how the second half goes. But as far as an updated score prediction, I originally said 30-14. I definitely think it's going to be a lot closer. But we'll say, instead of 30-14, I'm still going to take the Rams. But let's see. Let's take the Rams by a score of, I think maybe 31. Maybe 31-24? 31-27? Let's go Rams 31-24. Updated prediction. But the second half is going to start within the next couple minutes. You got 31-24, okay. Pretty similar. But the second half is going to start in a couple minutes, so just going to go over some stats real quick. Stafford went 10 of 17, 137 yards, and a touchdown in the first half. No interceptions or sacks. Running the ball for the Rams was also pretty good. Kyron Williams, 7 carries, 37 yards. Corum ran it 9 times for 35 yards. And Nakua, 1 carry for 5 yards and a touchdown. As a team, Rams are averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Then receiving for the Rams, Nakua, 6 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. Should have more if it wasn't for that drop at the end of the first half. Tyler Higbee has 2 catches for 45 yards. Parkinson's got 1 for 15. And Adams with 1 for 14. Then for the Panthers, Bryce Young went 11 for 20, 151 yards and an interception. But overall, I think he played a pretty good first half. Then on the ground for the Panthers, Chuba Hubbard, 4 carries, 17 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Young, 2 carries for 15 yards and a touchdown. Rico Dowdle, 4 carries, 9 yards. And Trevor Etienne, 1 carry for 4 yards. Then receiving for the Panthers, Jalen Coker, 4 for 70. Tedero McMillan, 3 for 49. Tommy Tremble, 2 for 18. Will get 1 for 8. Hubbard, 1 for 6. And Dowdle, Tremaine, and Mitchell. I don't know who those last 2 guys are, but they were all targeted, 0 catches, though, for all 3 of them. But just want to make sure the second half is not started yet, so don't miss that. And then we'll go over team stats. Alright, so not quite yet. So team stats, 12 first downs for the Panthers, 10 for the Rams. Panthers also 3 for 6 on third down, Rams 1 for 6. And both teams 0 for 1 on fourth down. The Rams outgaining the Panthers 214 to 182. Panthers 5.5 yards per play, Rams at 6.3. That has balanced itself out a little bit after. It was quite one-sided at the start of the game. Both teams 137 passing yards, factoring physical passing yards as well as sacks. And the Rams 77 rushing yards compared to 45 for the Panthers. Rams 2 touchdowns and 3 red zone trips. The Panthers 2 touchdowns and 2 red zone trips. 5 penalties, 50 yards against the Rams. 2 penalties, 15 yards against the Panthers. 2 turnovers for the Panthers, a muff punt and an interception. And time possession pretty even, 15-42 for the Rams, 14-18 for the Panthers. But it's been a pretty close game so far, and we'll see if that continues. I would think it probably will, with how it's gone so far. But I'm going to eat dinner throughout the second half, so hopefully you guys don't mind that. I'll try to only eat like in between plays and during commercials, but hope you guys don't mind. Just got to find a way to eat somehow from streaming now and later. But the Rams get the ball to start the half. I should probably change this before I forget. And the kick will be touchback. So it'll come out to 35. So the Rams offense on the field here, up by 3 to start the second half. Matthew Stafford started 8 for 8. Since then, he is 2 for 9. He's also had a few drops in there, including the one by Nakua before halftime. It's probably a touchdown. So Stafford to throw here to open up the half, and he throws to the outside. That is incomplete, not caught. Adams had it for a second, but then he got knocked away and ripped out. And it's 2nd and 10. But a nice pass breakup right there. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 35. Stafford to throw. Stafford looking for Adams again, and again it's incomplete. This time he's matched up with J.C. Horn. And nice coverage downfield. I think if Stafford can get that one a little bit further, that's probably completion. But Stafford couldn't quite get all of it into that throw with the defender right in his face. And back-to-back incompletions. And it's 3rd and 10 very quickly. Stafford took a pretty big hit right there on that play. Adams has been targeted 5 times, clutches 1 time for 14 yards. Stafford throwing here on 3rd and long. Throws outside, incomplete. Adams, the 3rd straight time he's been targeted. All 3 incomplete, and it's 4th down. So the Rams, not a good start. 3 quick incompletions. And they have the ball for 15 seconds, and they'll punt it away. So Stafford now 2 for 12 after an 8 for 8 start. And 3 straight incompletions to start the half. So the Rams punted away. Evans gets it away cleanly. And ETN signals fair catch. And bobbles it, but this time able to hold on at the 12-yard line. So that is where the Panthers will take over for their first possession here in the second half. Again, this one hit his face mask a little bit, but this one just bounces right into his arms. But the offense back out in the field for the Panthers at their own 23. Young under center. Hubbard is the back. And Young to throw. Rolling left. Young going to keep himself here. Ran for a touchdown before. Would have to go a long way to do that. But he'll gain 9 on the scramble before he slides down safely. 3rd run play of the day for Bryce Young. So we got a second and short. Young hands off. Hubbard makes the guy miss. And that's 5-yard pickup there for Chuba Hubbard on first down. I'm sorry, on second down. Enough for a first down. So first and 10 from the 28. Young and shotgun. Hubbard to his left. Tremble goes in motion. Young has it knocked down at the line of scrimmage, trying to get it to McMillan over the middle. But it is second down. Young to throw on second down, gets pressured, and he'll just throw it away. Brings up third and 10. Panthers 4 and 7 this year when trailing at the half. So definitely could come back. It's only a 3-point game. So still very much in the game. So third and 10 for the Panthers after 2 incompletions on the first 2 plays of the set of downs. Young and shotgun, play clock at 3. They'll get the play off. Young has time, throws over the middle. It is called for a first down. McMillan, nice catch. And they move the sticks on third down about 15 yards. And a nice third down conversion on third and pretty long too. Third and 10. Here's a handoff to Hubbard up the middle. And he'll gain about 3, maybe 4 yards on first down. What you got there? Candy. No, we got some dinner. We got hamburger and some vegetables here. So second and 5 here. They actually have Hubbard 5 on first down. Young under center. Hubbard again in the back. Really surprised we've seen him so much and haven't seen much of Rico Dowdle. But they go back to the ground. Hubbard splits 2 defenders in the backfield and then is stopped at the line of scrimmage for not a whole ton of space. Brings up third and 5. So third and 5. Oh, they got a free play here. Young gonna look to throw. Goes deep downfield, and it's too high, incomplete. Looking for Coker. But they got him to jump. They got the free play. It's going to be 5 yards and first down. Brandon Fisk jumped off sides. It's a 5-yard penalty and results in first down for the Panthers. So we got 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. That is the 6th penalty against the Rams for 55 yards. Young under center. Hands off. Hubbard up the middle. And Hubbard falls forward, forgetting about 2, maybe 3 in the play. Not a whole ton of space to run on that one. It's been an 8-play, 43-yard drive so far. 4 minutes, 10 seconds off the clock. And counting for the Panthers. Young in shotgun. Bring guy in motion. Young sets up the screen for Hubbard. And he gets some blockers. Wow, one of the linemen just absolutely ran somebody over. And Hubbard picks up 6 and a first down. But a nice pickup right there. And it's been a great first drive of the half for the Panthers. So first down for the Panthers, Bryce Young 13 for 24, 174 yards, and interception. Young under center, Hubbard the back from the 35. And here's Hubbard, and he'll dive ahead, forgetting about 2. Again, not a whole ton of space to run, but a decent pickup. Zach Tom, right tackle for the Packers, inactive tonight against the Bears. That'll be something to keep an eye on. So Young in shotgun, back to his left. 2nd down and 8. And here's a handoff. Hubbard up the middle. Again, not a whole ton of space, just a yard or 2. This game's on Fox, that's why your viewership is down. I have a larger audience for Indiana Miami, because it's only on cable. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that makes a difference. Other times I feel like it doesn't make a difference. But I don't know, sometimes my college streams also just do better than NFL streams. I don't know why, but sometimes that is just the case. But it's a 3rd and 7. Young in shotgun, back to his right. Young looks to throw, has time. Throws to Hubbard in the flat. That's actually Tremble. Makes the guy miss, but is taken down for about 4. And brings up 4th down here for the Panthers. So they will kick a field goal here, despite the wind. Ryan Fitzgerald, season long of 57 this year. This one is from 46, from the right hash, and the kick is good. He got it. Did a great job playing the wind as it goes from the right side to the left side. But it's now 17-17. As Panthers tied up on their first drive of the half. And we are all tied up. Good kick right there. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. We got 7:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. And we're now tied up for the first time since it was 0-0. So actually tied for the first time. But we'll have to see how the Rams respond. Panthers now 236 yards after that drive. As they went 13 plays, 59 yards, and took a long time. So they took 7:08 off the clock. And the Rams will get it back. The offense really has lost a little bit after the first four drives, where they scored 3 times in the first 4 drives. Because since then, they went 3 and out and punted. That was the muff punt. Then they turned it over on downs after that. Then they punted, and then went 3 and out before the half. And then 3 and out on the first drive of the second half. But they just got back from commercial. Rams will get it back. Game tied at 17. And the ball gets blown off the tee right here. We've seen that a few times today. So they'll bring another guy on the field. The only player where you can have 12 guys on the field and not get penalized for it. But the kick is going to get brought back here from the 2. And on the return, we'll cross the 25 and get to the 29. So a decent return right there. And solid field position so far to start the drive for the Rams. So first down here from the 30. Let's see if they can find something offensively again. They'll start off on the ground, which makes a lot of sense after 3 straight incompletions on the last drive. And Kyrie Williams is stopped after getting about 3. So nothing too crazy, but a decent pickup. Starting more than they had on all the last drive. So 2nd and 7 here. So Stafford under center. Play action. Stafford. Floats one over the middle. It is incomplete. Too high. And just out of the reach of Puka Nacua. And it's 3rd and 7. Stafford had to get that out pretty quickly with the blitz right there. But makes a pretty good throw. But just too far for Nacua. Yeah, just out of his reach. A little bit lower, and that's probably caught. But Stafford, after starting 8 for 8, he's now 10 for 21. We got an injured Panther down the field, so hopefully he's okay. I think it's one of their linebackers. But he's helped off the field. But they actually go to commercial here for the injured player. I was hopeful he's okay. One of the Panther linebackers, not sure who exactly it was, but I was hopefully whoever it is okay. Hold on 1 second. Just taking nachos and candy from 7-Eleven for the San Francisco game. I'm actually not streaming that game tomorrow. I'm only streaming the first game, which is Bills Jaguars tomorrow. I got somewhere to go, which is, it's annoying because it starts at 7, but so that means I can't stream the night game or the afternoon game, the late afternoon game, because that game's not going to end before 7, and the night game is going to obviously start before it's over, so that's annoying. So 3rd and 7, Panthers show blitz. Stafford has time, throws over the middle, call for a first down, finally completion, as he finds Devontae Adams. Adams, I think that's his 6th or 7th target, but just his 2nd catch. And a nice pickup right there on 3rd down. A much needed completion and first down for this Rams offense. Stafford to throw again, got plenty of time, and he throws underneath, and that is incomplete. Trying to get it to Nakua, but tight coverage there from Christian Roseboom. And then for the Packers-Bears game next. Okay. Well, Stafford got his hand hit again here. We saw him hurt his finger before, but he said he was okay. And it looks like that's the same spot on his hand. On 2nd and 10, Stafford here checks down Williams. Is going to pick up 4, maybe 5 on the play. Brings up 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 5. It could be 4 down territory, depending on how much they get right here. So Stafford, he had no problems with his hand when he was over on the sideline. But 3rd and 5, potentially 4 down territory. Stafford and shotgun back to his left. Panthers bring 4. Stafford has time, throws downfield. That is, oh, huge hit, but Adams cannot hold on. He's hurt. Man, hopefully he's okay. That was a huge hit. But he's back on his feet, walking over to the sideline. Hopefully he's okay. There's a flag down now, too. I don't know if that's on the hit or something else. If Stafford doesn't get it done, it's going to be a big upset. Nobody had the Panthers advancing. Yeah, I don't know if I saw a single person pick the Panthers. I've even seen Panther fans make videos and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm not picking the Panthers. We're going to get destroyed. Yeah, that would be a huge upset. But hopefully Devontae Adams is okay. That was a huge hit. They're definitely going to look at him for a concussion. But they do end up calling a penalty. They call unnecessary roughness or whatever it is for that hit. But they moved the sticks there on third down. That's a big penalty. So Stafford under center from the 29. He hands off. Kyron Williams is throwing forward for getting about 5. Pretty good run right there. What a trash flag there. What queen. I mean, I don't know the exact rule when it comes to that, when hitting a receiver who, I guess, is technically defenseless, but I mean, I have captions on so I can kind of see what they're saying. They were talking about a helmet-to-helmet hit. That wasn't a direct helmet-to-helmet hit, so I kind of agree with you right there. I'm not a huge fan of the penalty, although I understand it, but I don't really know one way or another because I don't know the rule. They try to set up a screen here, but it's incomplete, and brings up 3rd and 11. I'm sorry, what am I saying? 3rd and 6. The rookie Nick Scorton, who wears number 11, was the guy who made a play right there to prevent that from being completed. So 3rd and 6 from the 24. Stafford to throw. Stafford takes a shot down the sideline for Nakua. It's incomplete. Brings up 4th down with 4:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. Just a little too far. Very good coverage. So it'll be a field goal try here for the Rams. This is from 42. They've already made it from 46. Gotta try to deal with the wind right here. From the right hash. The kick from Mevis is up, and it is right down the middle. Great kick through the wind. And the Rams retake the lead 20-17. With 4:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. But a pretty good drive right there. A much needed good drive, and they got points. And they're back on top, so they lead by 3. Good call to take the lead. I'd agree. I mean, it's definitely not the easiest field goal right there. Having to deal with the wind, which is blowing quite a bit. And we've seen field goals get blown from the left side to the right side, or the right side to the left side. So it's definitely not an easy field goal, but yeah, I also agree with the decision to take the points. I mean, if you were already up by 3, maybe that'd be a different story, but I agree with the decision and what they ended up doing. But wait for them to come back from commercial here. 20-17 Rams lead. 4:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. Now the Panthers will get it back. Pretty good drive, a long drive on their first drive of the half. Let's see what they do here on their second. We also got the Panthers. So, what am I saying? We got the Bears and Packers later today. I'll also be streaming that game. If you guys not already know that. And then I'll be streaming tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the Jaguars Bills. But Devontae Adams over on the sideline looks to be okay, which is definitely good news for the Rams. After took that huge hit. So the kickoff is returned here by Xavier Leggett, and he's got a pretty good return to the 31. Yes, Devontae Adams got evaluated for concussion, and he was cleared. He'll be back in the game next drive. He's over on the bench with the rest of the team. So definitely glad to see he's okay, because you never want to see a player get hurt, and obviously it's always frustrating for the players to get hurt. But you got to imagine it's so frustrating when you're just hurt, you come back, and then you get hurt again. That's gonna be a banger. I have the Bills winning. Yeah, that was a tough game for me to pick. I mean, I went back and forth in that game quite a bit. I ended up taking the Jaguars, but that was a tough one. Because the problem for me with that game was you got the Jaguars at home, and you've got the Jaguars probably better overall team, but you got the Bills with the better quarterback. And a lot of times in the playoffs, if you have the better quarterback, you're going to end up winning. So I went back and forth in that game a lot, but I decided on the Jaguars. But there was a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. So the Panthers now starting at the 46, and the first play is a dump off to Rico Dowdle for a gain of 5 as he's thrown out of bounds. So I think what happens is 94 of the Rams, who they call a penalty on. He just goes and gets up in the face of one of the Panther players. I think that's what they call unsportsmanlike conduct for. I'm not completely sure. There's a handoff. Dowdle up the middle. No gain. Emmanuel Forbes with a nice tackle. Although it looks like he hurt himself there. Yeah, he's definitely in some pain. Jacksonville's on a roll too. Everyone has them winning. Yeah, they're on a roll. I think they're the hottest team in the NFL. They've won 8 straight, and they're playing really well. But yeah, I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on that game. I've seen a lot of people say it's Josh Allen's year with the competition he's got in the AFC, but I also think he's got a great team around him. Young to throw here on 3rd down. It is broken up, incomplete. Trying to get over the middle, and it's 4th down. Young a little bit behind. Well, yeah, if that's a little bit more out in front of him, you can't throw it too far out in front because there's a defender about 5 yards in front of him. But if it's a little bit more out in front of Leggett, probably catches that. I don't think Jaguars are that good. I think they're actually a pretty good team. I mean, I know it seems weird, but I think they're actually pretty good. Young going to throw here on 4th down. They will go for it. Gets pressured. Young trying to make a guy miss. Rolls right. Throws incomplete. And the Rams defense gets a stop on 4th down. Young just ran out of space. Had really nowhere to go with the football. And the Rams defense forces a turnover on downs for the 2nd time. But great coverage downfield. And good pressure up front. And the Rams take over. 2:46 to go in the 3rd quarter, up by 3. But going back to the Jaguars real quick, it's tough because I don't know if their roster is truly elite, but they're playing at such a high level right now. I think they're a really good team. So, I mean, I really have no idea how far that can go. Like, I think the Jaguars have a potential to go on a deep run. Like, I realistically could see them winning the Super Bowl. They're playing really well. And, like, they could go all the way, but they could also be a first-round exit. But I do think they'll make a pretty deep run. I picked them to go to the AFC Championship game and lose to the Broncos. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Rams up by 3. They get the football back. After the defense forces turnover on downs. The Panthers one of the best fourth down teams in the NFL this year. And they have the most conversions on fourth down, 27 since 1980. But they're 0 for 2 today. But Stafford hands off. Great starting field position for the Rams on their own 47. And Stafford hands off to Corum for a gain of about 5. Stafford, since starting 10 for 15, 2 for 11 for 24 yards. So 2nd and 4, play action here. Stafford rolling left. Stafford getting pressured. Stafford goes down for a sack at the 45-yard line, brings up 3rd and long as Stafford gets sacked for the first time. And it's now 3rd and 12 for the Rams with a minute 50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Really nice play by the Panther defense right here. I think this play is designed to take a shot downfield. But Stafford doesn't have the time to get it downfield and also doesn't look like there's anyone open. Stafford intercepted here on 3rd down. So I had a mouthful of food. And of course, the one time I don't say anything, Stafford gets picked off. But Mike Jackson with the interception. He's trying to get it to Devontae Adams on the outside. And well, what a play by the Panther defense. Stafford with his 7th interception in his last 7 games. And that is a huge turnover forced by this Panthers defense. Stafford's trying to hit Devontae Adams on the out route, but it gets undercut by Jackson, and a huge takeaway for this Panther defense. Yeah, that was not a very good throw. Stafford's got to get a lot more on that. I'm going to go to tissue. I'll be right back. So run play here for Hubbard to start the drive. And he's pretty much stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got a yard. Stafford came off the field holding his hand again after that interception. Young gonna look to throw here. Young steps up, throws over the middle. What a throw by Young. In stride, he finds Coker. Inside the 20, Jalen Coker. Inside the 10, out of bounds at the 8-yard line. That is a huge play there for the Panthers. What a throw by Bryce Young. He finds Coker in stride, and they're down inside the 10. First and goal on the 8. 51 yards. And what a play. Yeah, that is a huge throw and catch. I mean, that is a perfect throw from Bryce Young, because if he doesn't make a great throw right there, he can't get all those yards after the catch. But he couldn't have been better. Yeah, exactly. That was the perfect play right there. 51 yards on the catch and run. And the Panthers first and goal, only down 3 as we head to the fourth quarter. So, I mean, the Panthers are really in a pretty good spot. And they're only down by 3. A lot of people, including me, thought they'd get destroyed. But now they got a first and goal from the 8-yard line as we start the fourth quarter. And they could potentially take the lead, or at the very least tie it up. But, I mean, first and goal from 8, you're thinking touchdown. Turnovers are huge, can't have them. Yeah, I mean, that turnover could end up being huge. I mean, Stafford throws a pick. And now the Panthers, 2 plays later, knock on the door, potentially score a touchdown and go take the lead for the first time. But the Rams, since going up 14-0, they're being outscored 17-6 and could potentially be more after the Panthers right here, depending on what they do. I mean, that would not be a pretty good look if I have my Super Bowl pick go out in the first round. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. We'll see what the Panthers can do as we start the fourth quarter in a 3-point game. 20-17, Rams lead. Young throws the flat here. Coker makes the catch, makes the guy miss. Takes a big hit from lineman as he gets knocked out of bounds, forgetting about 3 and a flag is down. Are they going to call throw a flag right there on the hit? If that's on the hit, that is a terrible call, because that is a clean hit. Oh, that's a terrible call. He's in bounds. I do not like that call. Sean McVay says that's not late. He's in bounds. It's a clean hit. I completely agree. But it now puts the ball down to the 3-yard line after the penalty. Young under center. Hands off. Hubbard up the middle. Hubbard, touchdown! Into the end zone, his second of the game. Chuba Hubbard gives the Panthers the lead for their first time. And the Panthers lead the Rams early in the fourth quarter. They capitalize off the Stafford interception, and they lead for the first time today with 14:34 left in the fourth quarter. What a drive for the Panthers. They go right down the field after the turnover. And the Panthers up by 3. And up by 4 as the extra point is good. That's a big extra point too, because it makes it 4 as opposed to 3. So a field goal now doesn't do much if you're the Rams. But they capitalize off the Stafford interception, helped out by a 51-yard catch and run to Jalen Coker. And the Panthers up by 4, and they have the lead for the first time. But that was a 4-play, 62-yard drive. Oh, wait a minute. There's snow for the Packers and Bears game. Let's go. But that was a 4-play, 62-yard drive. It took a minute 40 off the clock. So there's no snow on the field right now, but it is definitely coming down. Yeah, that's going to be a fun game. But the Panthers are now outscoring the Rams 24-6. Since the Rams went up 14-0. So since the 9-minute mark in the second quarter, the Panthers outscoring the Rams 24-6. That's pretty impressive. But let's see how the Rams respond now, trailing for the first time. And we'll see if Stafford can bounce back from the interception. He had 3 turnovers the first game against the Panthers, 1 a pick 6. So they're back from commercial. Panthers up 4, 24-20, with 14:35 to go in the fourth quarter. So the kick is away, and going to be returned from the 10. And here's Rivers on the return. He crosses the 30 to the 33. And that is where Stafford and the offense for the Rams will take over for their next drive. Panthers have had some comeback wins. They trailed 17-0 against the Dolphins in Week 5, 27-24. They have 4 wins after trailing at the half. This will be their 5th. And there has been 250 lead changes in the fourth quarter of an NFL game this season. That is an insane amount of lead changes. So Stafford hands off Nakua on the jet sweep to start the drive, and he breaks a tackle and gains about 6. So it's 2nd and 5. Stafford gonna look to throw here. Stafford throws over the middle. That's caught. Adams in stride. Inside Panther territory across the 40 to the 39. There's a nice play through the air. Stafford now 13 for 28. Still under 50%, but it's a big time play right there. Gets him inside Panther territory. And a positive play for the offense. So from the 39, Stafford hands off Williams to the right side. And he gets taken down here after getting just a yard. Not a whole ton of space to run. So 2nd and 8 here. Stafford to throw. Underneath, he finds Nacua. And Nacua going to gain about 7 yards short of a first down, getting to the 30-yard line. So 3rd and 1. Stafford to throw. Has time. Plenty of it. Stafford takes a shot. Down the field. It is intercepted. No, broken up, but almost intercepted. Nick Scott got hands on it. I'm not sure where Stafford was throwing that. But Puka Nacua turns into a DB, and he breaks it up. That could be another huge turnover for the Rams. That's a great play by Puka Nacua. Yeah, I mean, this is intercepted if Nacua doesn't make a play on the ball. And maybe if the Rams get so many injuries in the secondary, Nacua can play defensive back. Pretty good job right there. But 4th and short, they will go for it. Stafford under center. They're going to hand it off. Williams up the middle has a first down. They failed on that play, or a similar play, earlier in the game. But they moved the sticks right there on 4th down, and they keep the drive alive. I will say, though, one thing I don't like about the Rams, I feel like every time they've got a 4th and 1, they'll just run it straight ahead. I mean, I don't love that from Sean McVay. So from the 29, they go back to the ground. Williams straight ahead. There's a good run. 6 yards on 1st down. Here's another handoff. About 4 yards here, just very close to a first down. So 3rd and short here for the Rams. 3rd and 1. Stafford under center, and he's going to sneak it right here. Did not expect that. But Stafford gains 2 on the sneak and a first down for the Rams. I guess you can... Surprising right there. And don't even have to worry about a 4th down if you don't get it. Stafford converts on the sneak on 3rd down. That's a smart call right there. So Nakua goes in motion, and they'll hand it to him on the sweep. And we'll get about 5 to the left side. Extra actually going to give him 4. Make it 2nd and 6. With about 9 minutes to go. In the 4th quarter. But a 10-play, 54-yard drive so far for the Rams. Stafford to throw. Stafford over the middle, caught by Williams. He's in! Touchdown, Rams! What a response drive! They go right down the field. Kyron Williams with the receiving touchdown puts the Rams back on top. Man, what a drive. Stafford throws the pick. The Panthers take the lead, but then they come back out. They go right down the field, and they retake the lead. Stafford with a no-look pass right there. He's become so good at those. But here is Mevis for the extra point, and it's right down the middle. 27-24. The Rams retake the lead. Man, you really could not ask for a better response from the Rams. A great throw. Stafford with a touchdown pass. And the Rams back on top. So the Rams went 11 plays, 67 yards. So they took 5:47 off the clock. Which might be their longest drive of the day, actually. In terms of time possession. Yeah, it actually is. It's their longest drive of the day. And it's one of their best drives. Probably their best. And it comes at a huge time. With about 10 minutes to go. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. About 10 minutes to go. Rams up by 3, 27-24. And now let's see how the Panthers respond. For the Rams, that was their first touchdown since very early in the 2nd quarter. So a big scoring drive right there. I knew it would be close, but not a 3-point match. Back and forth lead changes. Yeah, man, I didn't really expect it to be that close. I said 30-14. So I mean, didn't expect it to be that close. Yeah, this has been a great game. So the kick is a touchback, goes through the end zone, and will come out to the 35. But the Panthers with the football here. Let's see what they can do. Young in shotgun, back to his right, from the 35. Look to throw. Young. No, we got play blown dead here. So it's a false start against the Panthers. Against one of the offensive linemen, as it usually is. And we 1st and 15. So 1st and 15 from the 30. Young looks to throw. Throws outside, caught by Coker. And he'll gain 4. 8:40 to go in the 4th quarter. So 2nd and 11. Young in shotgun, back to his right. Here's another screen for Coker. And dancing around, and he's just going to get taken down for a wall. He had nowhere to go after the catch. And brings up 3rd and long. Next game should be just as good. Yeah, that Packers-Bears game should be pretty good. Seen 2 close games with them already. The second game was wild with that comeback from the Bears. Hopefully, it's pretty good. So 3rd and 13 here for the Panthers. Young in shotgun, back to his left. Rams bring 5. Young takes a shot deep down the field. He wants Coker, and it is incomplete. Pretty good throw from Bryce Young. Coker just can't quite make the play, and it's 4th down. I actually kind of like that decision, just to take a shot downfield. I mean, it's 3rd and 13. Oh, man, that's a really good throw from Bryce Young. It's a tough catch over your outside shoulder, but that's a really good throw because it's really the only place you can put that right there with the defender pretty much everywhere else. So Sam Martin to punt it away, and his kick is away. And it's fair call here at the 19-yard line by the Rams. So they get the ball back, 7:14 to go, up by 3. After a nice possession for their defense, forcing a 3 and out. Alright, so back from commercial. Let's see what the Rams do on this next drive. Touchdown here is huge. Puts you up by 10 and could put it out of reach, although I don't think it completely out of reach, but see, touchdown would be huge right here. So Stafford hands off, Williams to the left side, and he breaks through initial contact and gains about 4 on the play. 7:05 to go. So 2nd and 6, Stafford to throw over the middle, caught by Nakua. Wow, great throw from Stafford in between 3 defenders, and a nice catch in traffic And a first down for the Rams. I mean, that's a tight window to throw that ball into. But Stafford would fit it in there. But, oh, J.C. Horn banged up after that one. That is not good. Hopefully he's okay. One of the better corners in the NFL. So 1st and 10 here for the Rams. Stafford under center. Bring one of the 3 tight ends in the game in motion. Stafford hands off. Corum up the middle, and he gains about 6 yards to the 47. Oh, we got a flag down. 2 of them, actually. Is this one going to come back? A hold against the Rams. Rams would close this one out. Yeah, touchdown here goes a long way. Could potentially put the game away. So 1st and 20, Stafford's throw is incomplete. Trying to get it to Devontae Adams. That could have actually almost got picked off the deflection. But Jackson, who had the interception before, a nice play in coverage right there. Again, matched up against Devontae Adams. So Stafford to throw on 2nd and 20. Rolling right, checks down underneath for Corum. Makes the guy miss, and Corum picks up about 5. But it is still 3rd and long here for the Rams. It's 3rd and 17. And there's a big opportunity for the Panthers to get off the field and get the ball back to the offense. Only down by 3. We got 5 minutes to go. Stafford on 3rd down. He's 3 for 10. 35 yards and a touchdown or interception on 3rd down. Look to throw here, plenty of time, and he throws underneath for Kyron Williams. Or actually, that's Corum. Makes the catch, gets to the 42-yard line, but brings up 4th down. So it's 4th and 7. The Panther defense gets a stop. And they'll get the ball back with 4:15 to go. Oh, the punt got blocked. The punt is blocked. And the Panthers going to have it at the 31-yard line. Wow. The Panthers come after it and they block the punt. And they've got it deep inside Ram territory. Just down 3 with 4:12 to go. Wow. That is a huge special teams play. It's been a problem for the Rams all year long. And it's a problem in one of the biggest moments of the season right here. Wow. That is a huge play. Isaiah Simmons is the guy who blocks it. And that is a huge, huge special teams mistake for the Rams. That might cost the Rams the game. Yeah, it really could. So the Panthers now get the ball at about the 31-yard line. Only down by 3. Young, quick throw, finds McMillan. And 1 play, and they're inside the red zone down to 14. So first down for the Panthers. Panthers 3 touchdowns and 3 red zone drives, trying to make it 4 for 4. There's a handoff. Hubbard up the middle. He's got 2 of those touchdowns. And Hubbard, nice run right here. Gets about 7 yards. As he gets inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. So Young under center, 2nd and 3. They fake the toss. Now try to dump it off in the flat. It's incomplete. They got tipped at the line. Young trying to find the rookie tight end Mitchell Evans in the flap. It's incomplete. So 3rd and 3. 2:43 to go. It's a really nice play by Landman. So 2:43 to go. It is now 3rd and 3 here for the Panthers. Huge play right here. Rams bring a blitz. Young throws. End zone. Call for a touchdown. Jalen Coker makes the play, and the Panthers retake the lead with 2:39 to go. What a throw and catch. Jalen Coker with another big play for the Panthers offense, and they take the lead. Wow. Rams coaching staff looking dumbfounded on the sidelines. Yeah, exactly. But man, what a play right there. Against the blitz. A great throw from Bryce Young. And the extra point here. Right down the middle. 31-27. With 2:39 to go. The Panthers lead the Rams. And what an upset this would be. But that is now 2 big second half mistakes for the Rams. The interception by Stafford, and they got 14 or 7 off that, and the blocked punt, and they got 7 off that. So that's 14 points off 2 mistakes, or 2 turnovers, in the second half. Wow. You just can't make those types of mistakes in the playoffs. So 2:39 to go, and let's see how Stafford and the Rams offense responds. So the kickoff is away, returned from the 8-yard line. Rivers on the return gets to the outside, he's knocked it bounds at the 28-yard line. So Stafford and the Rams back onto the field. Let's see what they can do. So Stafford in shotgun. Got it back to his right. From their own 29. Stafford gonna look to throw. And on the slant he finds Nakua for a gain of 7. It's a good start. Getting to the 36. .220 to go. Both teams still with all 3 timeouts. Rams going to try to get one more off before the 2-minute warning. So Stafford going to look to throw. Stafford, open receiver. There's Adams to the 45. And first down for the Rams. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So 31-27, Panthers lead with 2 minutes to go. And the Rams with the football needing a touchdown. Man, what a game. I did not expect this game to be that good. (31-27), 2 minutes to go. Panthers lead. I don't know who saw that coming. The Rams still very much in this game. Down by 4 with the football. And all 3 timeouts. But I don't know anyone who thought Panthers really had a great chance in this game. But we wait for them to come back from commercial at the 2-minute warning. Let's see what the Rams can do here. Got a 1st and 10 at their own 45. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. 4-point game. Panthers lead by 4. That's what a 4-point game means. But a great game to open up the playoffs. So they're back from commercial. 31-27. We got 2 minutes to go. So Stafford and shotgun, who look to throw. Panthers rush 5. Stafford throws outside, caught by Adams. And he's chopped down at a gain of 6. Getting inside Panther territory to the 48-yard line. And not a first down. The clock is running. Down to a minute 45 to go. Each team with all 3 timeouts. What LA is doing, keep it simple. Try to win the game. Don't force anything. Yeah, exactly. Stafford over the middle, caught by Nakua. Inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Another nice catch and run. Down to 90 seconds to go. Nice throw and catch right there. So 1st and 10 from the 30, down to 105 to go. Stafford. Over the middle, that is dropped by Adams. It is dropped by Devontae Adams with 104 to go. Would have been a gain of about 10 and close to a 1st down. Now, if you're the Rams, you got to hope that doesn't stop your momentum you've been building on this drive. Stafford, 53 career game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime. Most active, I think that's it. Maybe 2nd most beyond Rodgers. Panthers bring 5. Stafford throws outside, caught by Xavier Smith. And he'll pick up 12 and a 1st down for the Rams. 55 seconds left. Clock still running. All 3 timeouts for both teams. So from the 19, Stafford going to look to throw. Stafford has time. Throws outside. It is caught. Parkinson. Touchdown. Kobe Parkinson with the touchdown for the Rams. 38 seconds left. And they're back on top. Man, what a game. The Rams go right down the field. And they put it in the end zone. Really nice catch by Parkinson. He stays in bounds. And a great throw from Stafford. Really good drive. And the Rams retake the lead. And what a 4th quarter. I mean, that's a perfect throw and catch. You really can't do much better. So here's Mevis for the extra point. Right down the middle. 34-31. Rams lead with 38 seconds to go. So now the Panthers will get it back. They're now down by 3. A field goal will tie. They've got all 3 timeouts. Both teams do. Let's see how they respond now. But it's a 7-play, 71-yard drive for the Rams. They take 2 minutes, 1 second off the clock. And on that drive, Stafford went 6 for 7, 71 yards. Yeah, watch the Rams special teams give up a huge return right here with how bad they are. But the ball falls off the tee, so they bring on a guy to hold the football. It's actually the reverse of what it usually is. The punter kicks off for the Rams, so their kicker comes on to hold it for the punter. But the kick here is going to be returned from the 4. And on the return, going to break a tackle, trying to turn the corner. He's out of bounds at the 29-yard line, just shy of the 30. So 32 seconds, 3 timeouts. Let's see what Bryce Young and the Panthers offense can do. Bryce Young's had a game-winning drive in 12 of his 14 career wins. So let's see if he can do it again. 32 seconds, 3 timeouts. Bryce Young is 21 for 36 for 264 yards, touchdown, and an interception. Young in shotgun, Dowdle to his right, from their own 28-yard line. Bring Tommy Tremble in motion. And Young looks to throw, gets pressure, rolling left. Young gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. 25 seconds left. I mean, you've got the full field you can work with because you've got all 3 timeouts. But now you got to make sure you can protect Bryce Young. And you've got to make sure you can get the ball downfield. Bryce Young took a pretty big hit right there from Jared Verse. So 2nd and 10 from the 28. Empty backfield for Bryce Young. A look to throw. Young, pressure. Young rolling to his left. Directing traffic. Young throws back across the field. It's short and incomplete. And it brings up 3rd and 10 with 17 seconds to go. So 3rd and 10. Young in shotgun, back to his right. So look to throw once again, gets pressured, throws the outside, went too far and it's incomplete. Just over the head of the intended receiver, and now it's 4th and 10, you gotta have it. There's 12 seconds to go. Young got hit again right there. Jimmy Horn Jr., the rookie from Colorado, the intended receiver. So it's 4th and 10. Panthers 0 for 2 on 4th down. And prior to the 4th down, Rams call a timeout. And how often do you see this? The first timeout spent in the second half comes with 12 seconds left in the 4th quarter. In a close game. I feel like you rarely see that. But a huge play here, gotta have it for the Panthers, obviously. So 4th and 10, 12 seconds left. Gotta have it. So 4th and 10 from your own 28. Young gonna look to throw. Rams bring 4. Young throws. That is... Oh, it's dropped! It got dropped, and it's a turnover on downs, and the Rams will hold on for the win. Wow, it got dropped by Horn, and the Rams gonna win it 34-31. Wow. I mean, it's a little bit of a low throw, but that's got to be caught. It hits him right in the hands. It gets dropped, and the Rams move on for the win. Man, I did not expect it to be that close, but what a game. Matthew Stafford's going to end up throwing for 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. It didn't always look good for him, but ends up being a pretty good game. But that does it. 34-31 is the final. The Rams move on to the divisional round. And they win a great game. A good game, good stream. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Glad you enjoyed it. But 34-31 is the final. The Rams move on to the divisional round. And I will be live in like 10 minutes for Bears and Packers. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end this stream. I got a couple bites left to dinner. It's taking me forever to eat the entire second half, literally. And yeah, I'm going to go get ready for the next stream. Got a couple things to do. But yeah, I'll be live in a few minutes. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Maybe a little bit more. But 10 to 15 minutes.